I was reading earlier today that you've been described as the sort of lady who wears satin camisoles with jeans, no bra, and a gold ankle chain. Have
Goodness
those days
gracious.
have those days gone?
Well, I don't recall them ever having been around, actually. I've never seen an ankle chain, let alone wore one.
It's amazing. How much of what has been written about you? Uh, could you say something similar?
Well, I can only say that I've had my run-ins with the press. I suppose I've sued for libel about 17 or 18 times, and um, it's a sort of, I didn't even start to enter into that realm of legal recourse until 7 or 8 years after I first came to public attention. So I'm a great lobbyist for privacy.
Yes.
I think that the press really needs some controlling at the moment.
Yes, well, you were actually hounded at one stage of your life, and yet I can even hear in your voice that you're probably quite a private person.
No, I'm a very private person. I think it's as important to to people to maintain their privacy as anything, as eating and sleeping. I mean, without any privacy, you have no peace of mind.
Yes.
So,
but on the other hand, Sue, I mean, you've been an actress. Are you still acting?
No, in fact, I stopped acting as a result of my experience with the media.
Yes.
I found the whole thing being so uncomfortable that I decided I'd become a photographer instead.
Yeah.
Get myself on the other side of the lens.
But even photography and exhibitions, I mean, even they require a certain amount of publicity. I mean, so how are you ever going to shun it 100%?
Well, it's different. I mean, if you're acting, you actually have to go out and do quite a lot of publicity to promote the play or the film that you're in. Whereas if you're a photographer or an artist, you hang your work, and your work is commented on, not you.
Yes.
I mean, hopefully.
Well, I want to come back to that later, but first of all, do you miss the acting? Because you were in films like...
No, I enjoy acting. I enjoy it because it's a creative, it's a community, if you like, creative art form. You work with other actors and actresses and with writers and with a director, and a whole group of people get together and play, basically. So that's a lot of fun, whereas being a photographer is very solitary. It's a different creative process. I mean, you have to have a vivid imagination and then be able to illustrate whatever it is that you've imagined, and you have to be able to work very well with people, make them feel at ease. And then there's another process which goes on in the printing of the pictures, where you can manipulate to a certain degree the image that you've created.
Yeah.
So as a creative process, I think I actually prefer photography because it's more, I don't know, it's just more satisfying when nobody messes with it. It's totally down to you.
Yes, on your head be it.
Exactly.
Yeah. You actually come from a creative background. You were born in America, and your father was a Californian B-movie producer, Wilbur Starr. What are some of the films that he produced?
I don't really know.
I'm sure he wouldn't be pleased to hear you saying that.
Well, no, I mean, I haven't followed his career. I doubt very much if he's followed mine either.
Your mother was a former television actress?
She was a writer.
She was a writer?
She was a writer, and she wrote a television program. In fact, she started morning television, and Barbara Walters was her researcher. This was going back a long way.
Mm.
So she did live television, and she had a lot of guests on her program, much like you're doing now.
Yes.
And she met a lot of very interesting people and often brought them home. So I had a kind of eclectic childhood with meeting various, artists and philosophers. And
were you intimidated? Were you intimidated by them?
Was I stimulated? Yes, I mean, very, very. I mean, I remember meeting Alfred Hitchcock. I remember him, and I remember Norman Rockwell, who's a wonderful American artist. In particular, I mean, Alfred Hitchcock actually was very nice to young children. I mean, he was adorable. I remember him playing with me and thinking what a nice man he was. And of course, when I grew up and became familiar with his work, I was hugely impressed how sort of
And such a
calm
nice...
he was and accessible.
Yes, yes. And how such a nice man could bring such horror sometimes to the screen.
Yes, but that's the art of storytelling, isn't it?
Isn't it? Yeah.
Which is great.
Now, you came to live in London when you were the tender age of 16. I mean, do you see
No,
yourself
not quite.
as...
I don't know where you got your biographical notes from, but let's drop them, shall we? Because otherwise I should be carrying on saying, no, it's not right, no, it's not right, no, it's not right.
Well, when did you come to London?
When I was 14.
So do you see yourself...
I came to get a European education, which I got one way and another, and then I was supposed to go back to America to study drama at Yale. But I didn't go back. I just stayed, and I'm still here.
So do you see yourself as being English rather than American?
No, I don't really have a strong national identity. I think it's more important to have a sense of one's self, identity. I mean, obviously, I'm influenced by the culture that I'm involved in, which is British and American.
Yes.
So you can't escape the fact that those are my two main influences. But I do travel a lot, and I think that that's a wonderful education.
Isn't it?
To be able to travel and mix with other people and get a more global view of the world.
So
we are very, very lucky in the West.
You travel with camera, no doubt.
I travel with camera.
Yeah. Where have you been? What would be your favourite country? The country that you would want to keep going back to, if you like.
It would have to be India.
Why is that?
I just think first of all, it's safe. I travel alone quite a lot, and it's a safe country. It's they have a nice, respectful attitude towards women, and one doesn't feel in any danger. At least I've never felt in any danger there. And it's just so beautiful and diverse, and it smells wonderful. It sort of smells of sandalwood and jasmine.
Yeah, and curry.
And the women, and the women wear those wonderful silks, and the women actually do quite a lot of the manual labour. So as you're travelling from one place to another, you'll see them building the roads or repairing the roads, and they're in their, beautiful saris.
Yes.
I don't know, it's just got a dreamlike quality, which I like, and also the pace is so slow. I'm quite slowly paced myself, so I find it very comfortable being there. And I'm Buddhist, and my teacher, the Dalai Lama, is there.
Yes.
Based in northern India.
How long have you been Buddhist?
Oh, about 5 years.
It's a lovely religion, isn't it?
It's a philosophy, I'd have to say, more than a religion. It's a living philosophy, really. Yes.
What is the country that you would never go back to?
I don't think there is one. Let me think where I've had appalling experiences. I can't really think. One country that I went to very briefly and I would like to go back to is New Zealand.
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it?
It is.
Very like Scotland in a way.
I love Scotland. And Scotland for me is the last frontier in the British Isles, really.
So when are we going to see your next exhibition, Koo? Are you working on anything?
Well, I am, actually. They take about a year to 2 years to produce. So fairly... the not too distant future.
How important is it to have a theme?
I think it's important for the viewer because if you're going to put a collection of work together, you've got to tell a story. So it either has to be portraiture of particular, either men or women or something in common, something to bring it together to give it a little bit of subtext.
Yes, yes. So it's such a pity we couldn't have you in the studio today. I'm fast running out of time here. But what are you doing in Northern Ireland? We're delighted to have you, by the way. What are you doing here?
I've come to... I have a goddaughter, and her parents are giving a church fair here at Caledon Castle. And we're trying to raise some funds for a new roof for the church. So that's what I'm doing. I'm come up to give my goddaughter a big hug and kiss and help raise some funds for the church.
Wonderful. And that opening is...
Tomorrow,
in fact, the fair
Saturday.
is tomorrow.
That's tomorrow.
And you'll be performing your duties at around about 2 o'clock.
I will.
Signing lots of autographs, no doubt.
Well, and being dragged around by a little 2.5-year-old girl.
I'm sure you'll love it.
I will. Thank you so much.
Not at all. Have a lovely time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Koo.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.